Hello, let's do connections for Tuesday, August 5th. All right, you can mince something, slice it, grate it, cube it, is to cut something up into smaller pieces. Do I want to try and reverse rainbow this thing? Because I'm also seeing tube, underground, subway, and metro. This is words for, a subway, a train system. So that's two categories. That would leave dress, pipe, health, coal, carrot, secret, and zip, and scarf. Oh, scarf, pipe, carrot, and coal are like things you use for a snowman, right? The carrot for the nose, the coal for the eyes, the scarf, and the pipe, the little smoking pipe. So that would leave health, secret, zip, and tube. No, not tube, dress. I don't know what these would be for, though. So if I'm right about all these categories, this would be purple, because it's the one I have no idea what they're talking about. Dress, health, zip, and secret. Code. Dress code, health code, zip code, secret code. I'm going to submit that. All right, so that's purple. What do we think is blue? I'm thinking it might be the snowman one, because it's like items for a specific thing, whereas the other ones are all like synonyms, the other two categories. So I think this one's blue. Okay. And then what are we thinking for green? Subway, tube, underground, and metro. Which one of these is more obvious? These are nouns and these are verbs. So maybe verbs would be green, more likely. I feel like the subway one is more obvious. Plus it's nouns. So I'm going to submit this one as green. Nice! I feel like it's been a while since I've done a reverse rainbow. But man, those all just stood out to me. I didn't really see much of a red herring. Subterranean transit. Yeah, that one was super easy. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's really a red herring in here. I'll have to look at the mistakes and see. Let's see what difficulty they give it. I realized yesterday that I forgot to look at what the difficulty they gave it was. 2 out of 5. I felt it was kind of even easier than that. I guess if you don't know snowmen, the stereotypical snowman outfit, it would be pretty difficult. And zip code. Zip code is a very American thing, so if you don't know that, it might be a little tough. Although the subterranean transit one, tube and underground, I feel like are very non-American things to call that. Whereas metro, like in DC, I think they call it a metro. And then in New York, obviously, it's a subway. But even then, there's so many Americans that have never been there. I've never been to New York, so I've never been on a subway. There, so, what they call the subway. And then I was on the metro in DC, I think, once. But that's the only time I've ever been on a underground transit thing. So yeah, and underground I think is like London. I think they call it the London Underground. Okay, let's check the box. Okay, 2 out of 5. It's the same as what they gave it. Biggest category is no mistakes. Next biggest is losing. So some people are finding it tricky. Perfect skill score. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that. It's been a while since I've reverse rainbowed. Everybody getting the yellow one first, like overwhelmingly, 50% drop to the next one in green. And then the snowman one is the lowest. Like I said, you have to kind of remember that. The stereotypical, like Frosty the Snowman outfit. Let's check ever. Wow, 98% getting yellow. Almost every single person's getting yellow. And not much different for green. And then a fairly big drop down to purple and blue here. 27% doing yellow, green, purple, blue. Interesting. And then regular rainbow orders, 15%. And then losing, yeah, if you're losing, you're just not getting purple and blue, which is pretty standard. Clothing, I guess the zipper, but it's not just zip. Plus a zip, unless they're referring to something else with zip. I'm thinking of it as a zipper. A zipper is part of a piece of clothing. It's not a piece of clothing itself, like scarf or dresses. And pipe isn't really a clothing. It's more of an accessory, I guess. I wouldn't call it clothing. Dress code, zip code, secret code, pipe code? I think that's just some people guessing at the fourth one and just putting a random blue in there. Same thing with this one. I could see putting pipe in with underground. I could see someplace calling it a pipe. I've never heard that, but I could see it being called that. So that's kind of sort of a red herring, but not really. At least I don't think so. Putting a zip in with the snowman kit. Again, zip, I'm assuming they're referring to it as zipper, unless there's some other piece of clothing called a zip I'm not aware of. You could put a dress on a snowman, sure, why not? It's not stereotypical, but you could do it. You pipe something? I'm not sure about that. I mean, so few people didn't get green and yellow that there's not going to be a whole lot of mistakes with that. It's pretty much just everybody guessing it, purple and blue. So yeah, pretty easy one, pretty great reverse rainbow by yours truly. Don't worry, I won't let it go to my head. Who am I kidding? I probably will. If you're enjoying the videos, please leave a like, subscribe, or follow, and let me know how you did today.